Why? Why did you do a community review in Leigh-on-Mendip?
Okay, so my name is Ian Kirby, and I'm one of the parish councillors for Leigh-on-Mendip, which is a small village of about 500 people based on the Mendips. We are a quite a compact parish. There's only 6 of us at the moment, but we are quite a progressive village, I would say. And our previous plan, parish plan as they called it, was dated back in 2006. And so we thought with the county council changing to a unitary and the involvement of the local community networks, it was an ideal opportunity for us to work with smart communities to develop a plan that was more appropriate to the time and the content of our village, which we have an older population, but we also have quite a few young families in the village now. And so we thought as a parish council, it was probably an appropriate time to update that plan and look at what the parish wants going forward.
Is there anything that came that going through the process that you would have done differently, or any top tips that you have to offer other groups going into it at this stage?
I think one of the key things is definitely to get together a steering group and try and get that steering group to be a cross section of the community. So the older generation through to the younger generation. We were very lucky. We did have some involvement from some teenagers in the village, which was really good. And make sure that you try and encompass within that steering group as many of the different groups, community groups that are operating within the village. So the school, WI, and all those sorts of different groups, because that was a brilliant way of getting our message back out to people to get involved in the plan when the questions were available for people to answer. So yeah, I would certainly recommend that. I would also recommend that you follow the structure that smart communities provide. It does work. Sometimes it feels a little bit frustrating that you're only getting a bit of information and you'd like to see everything, but actually if you follow the structure, it really works well. And it allows you to deal with bits of information rather than trying to do the elephant task. You're taking small bites of it, getting it done, getting it finished, completed, signed off by your advisor, and then moving on again. It does work. So as I say, although sometimes it feels a little bit frustrating, you don't see everything, actually it works. And I think for people that perhaps might not have done this sort of thing before, it will certainly help them to deliver the various aspects of the plan.
Yeah, how did you feel about the sort of workload? Because I mean, you were obviously the lead contact for us in the parish. I mean, did you feel that you were able to share the tasks around the group, or that you felt that it was, mainly placed with you?
I think we took an approach where we could have put the tasks out through the steering group. But I think as the lead and in discussion with the steering group, it was felt that actually if I did the majority of the work, but then shared before, providing it to smarter communities for them to sign it off, but to share that with the group for them to have input into it. So although I did the main bulk of the work, it wasn't my opinion or my views, it was the views of the group. And yeah, we did change things because they felt there were other things that might go better. So for example, when we looked at the various subjects that we wanted to engage with the community on, there were a range of views and we had to come to some consensus as a group. So although I did the work, it was group involvement.
Yeah. Okay. And just thinking about that range of topics that we worked on to develop the survey, were there any particular hot topics in your community that you wanted the survey to address, or that you wanted to sort of take a deeper dive into?
Yes, housing, stroke planning was a big topic and continues to be a big topic within the village, and transport, which encompassed traffic, parking, and speed as well.
Mhm.
We are a linear village, and it is very easy for people to speed through the village, and they quite frequently do.
Okay. And were you surprised by any of the findings in the survey? Was there anything that came back in the report that you were surprised to see, or you didn't know that you needed, or that there was a demand for in the village? Was there anything that
There was quite a strong desire for more community events. Now,
right.
as I said, we're quite a progressive village, and we have lots going on, but people were still looking for more. So people suggested a bonfire night, not necessarily a firework display, but just getting together on our recreation field, lighting the beacon, and just getting people together. So I was quite surprised that there was still that real strong view that they wanted more, and people wanted more. Um, Interestingly, things like footpaths and bridleways came up as really important to people within the village. And not surprisingly, I suppose, village life and the importance of trying to maintain the character of the village, and the village life itself. So yeah, I suppose those came up as real surprises.
Oh, okay. And I know you've only finished this process very recently, like in, a matter of, maybe 2 or 3 months. But is there anything that's already taken shape, anything that you've already acted on in the community as a result of it?
Yep, definitely. We now have a speed watch group within the village, which is not quite active yet, but it's everybody's doing their training, and we will be active shortly, probably around Christmas time. So that's really important. And there's been some developments on our recreation field where we've been able to secure some grants and get some new equipment in for children and teenagers of the village to use. So that's really good as well. And the parish is discussing the whole action plan next month in November. We have, I think it's probably 7 or 8 pages of actions that we have to go through and prioritise as a parish. And we're looking at perhaps the parish driving it, but not the parish council actually doing everything. So we're looking to the other community groups that we've got within the village, and the concept that came up through the plan of a like a delivery group, for want of a better word. So if we take the example of the King's Coronation or the Queen's Jubilee last year, rather than any one group, the parish council or the recreation field committee driving that, we have a delivery group that connects and communicates with all the community groups that we've got, and together, comes together to deliver on something like the Coronation or the Jubilee. So that's definitely something that we're going to take forward.
That sounds brilliant. Great. And has it played a part in how the parish positions itself in the LCN that's emerging in the unitary as well?
Yeah, I think the importance, and one of the reasons why we wanted to do the plan was to ensure that we were able to go to the LCN with what's important to our community. So that's allowed us to have a up-to-date voice at the LCN about what's important to our community, and to connect with other similar villages, and to see, if we've got similar priorities that we want to push forward in the LCN. So yeah, it's really been a very important process so that we can contribute to the LCN with up-to-date information about what our community wants.